Okay, I thought I'd try something a little different for my third video. I've got a bit of a cold, so... Oh, this is Kevin Strange. Other than comic books, I also collect original art. And a different sort of original art. I collect pages, of course, and covers and whatnot. But I also go to a lot of cons, and I bring a sketchbook along. A lot of people might do this, I'm not sure, in the community. But this is something I've loved doing. This is a sketchbook I started back in, 2000. And some of the names I'm going to blank on, which is really funny. It could be the cold medicine, it could be just because I can't. But this is Craig Russell, Batman Beyond, one of my favorites. And they range in, in finishness and whatnot. It all depends on, money that you pay or if you've got friends that do it for you. This is one of my favorites and one of my favorite artists, and it's Richard Case. And he did a lot of stuff for, of course, that big run on Doom Patrol with Grant Morrison, which was amazing. And there's Sandman, he did that. I just love the colors in that. Some of them that look a little, they're not, totally finished. They'll do little quick ones. Like some people will do things for free. Some people will charge you $20, $50, $100. Sometimes you can say, hey, will you do a little headshot for me quick, and they won't charge you anything. And this is Mike Oeming did this for Powers for me. Sometimes you're running out of money at the show. Again, this was one that Mark Begley did for me, another like quick free headshot. And a lot of times what I do is I'll say, like, who do you like to draw? Who's your favorite character? Do whatever you want. And then this way, you sometimes get the best work from them because they just want to do something fun. So he did Kingpin for me. Here's another one of my favorite artists, Tony Harris, and he did Mike Knight for me. The Starman. Funny thing, he was doing Obergeist at the time, and it really kind of looks like a mix between Obergeist and Starman, but it's a pretty cool image. And this is probably my favorite piece that I've ever gotten. One of my favorite artists, Alan Davis, Batman pencils, talking to the man. It was just, it was incredible, and just the look on Batman's face. It's just, I don't know. It's my favorite. It's my favorite piece, and he's my favorite artist. Another one from Rich Case in 2001. Big Vertigo fan and love Tim Hunter, Books of Magic, and love Rich's work. He's a friend, and it was fun to be able to get this from him. David Mack, this was something he was doing back in I think 2001 when he was working on Daredevil. Just did it with a simple brush, just sort of, just one brush, just moving it along. It was pretty neat with inks. Another Case, trying to get all the people from Doom Patrol from him. I'm going to move this out a little bit. I'm cutting people's heads off, I see. Rebiz. Again, this was just a little quick freebie from Ethan Van Sciver, which is awesome. Green Lantern. He's charging, tons of money for sketches. So, I said, hey, what can you do? Talk to him a little bit. Love your work. And he banged that out for me. Sometimes I won't. Sometimes I will. Another Case. One of my favorite characters from Doom Patrol, which is Nowhere Man. And he did that for me, and I just dig that. Because he was one of my favorite characters. There's a fun one in 2006 by Tony Moore. If you gave him, he took a photo of you, and then he zombified you. So I got maggots coming out my eyes and the whole 9 yards. I got a kick out of that. And wow, I am blanking on his name. He's one of my favorite artists. He did The Other Side. Stuart Cameron. Cameron Stewart? I can't believe I got that wrong. Or one of them was right. Death. Again, I said, who do you like to draw? Who's your favorite character to draw? And this is who he said. And man, I think it really shows. Multiple colors in there. Just a beautiful, beautiful headshot of Death. And you know, you don't have to go with like the huge people at the show only, like the, you know, go to the Stewarts and the, you know, the Adams and all the big people at the show. You know, if you dig someone's art, you know, ask them if they'll do a sketch for you. You know, it's probably going to be a lot cheaper, and you get some really nice art. I can't remember this kid's name, but he did this really sort of Tim Burton-y kind of Batman stuff I really dug. So he did that for me. Same thing with this artist. I just really liked his stuff, how he did things, and I said, who'd you like to draw? And he said, Dr. Doom, and that's the one I picked. This one was a coup, I think, for me. This is Jeff Darrow, Shaolin Cowboy and Hard Times and all those books. You know, I talked to him and I said, oh, you know, about a headshot, you know, kind of really cajoling, oh, you know, please. And he just whipped this out. I mean, that's him, you know, playing like a pen as a flute and thinking of himself, I guess, with hair. I don't know. It's just a crazy shot. The funny thing is, like at cons, when you go to get a drawing, what they'll do is artists will look back through all the stuff that you've got, because they're artists, they love art, they like to see what you got. Everyone just stopped at this and just got the biggest kick out of it. They're like, oh, he's such a nut. I had a great talk with Darwin Cook, one of my favorite artists. I think it's because I made a good comment about one of his books and one of the Parker novels. He said, oh, okay, well, let me do this for you. He wasn't doing sketches that day, so it was pretty neat to get that. Quick little Batman face. I'm blanking on this person's name. God. He did all like the Long Halloween. They need to sign their name better. He was sitting next to Darwin Cook, and Darwin pushed it over and said, draw something in there. This is Breed by Jim Starlin. Great guy. He was at a con in North Carolina I was at. And again, who do you want to draw? He drew this for me, didn't charge me. It's a nice little drawing. Another Case, Crazy Jane. This is his favorite character he likes to draw, so it really shows. I mean, just the lines in there and the hatching, just really super cool. We're up to 2011. I cannot remember this guy's name, but he did some really neat, liney sort of Star Wars stuff. Boba Fett. Something from Matt Smith. He does a lot of the Doctor Who stuff. He's a great guy. And again, this is one of his little one-off things he does quick. Doesn't charge anybody for. He does it in like, I don't know, 30 seconds. And it's just a neat thing to have. This is one of my favorites too. I love, of course, Doctor Strange, and you know, I love Fred Hembeck, and this is just awesome. You know, you got Doctor Strange, the whole hands going on, the face, it just cracks me up. Anything Hembeck does, just I get a kick out of. Here's another one from Starlin, and of course that's Thanos that he did for me, which was pretty neat. You know, the movie and everything coming out. Again, he's a huge guy, and he wasn't charging anything for these. He was just sort of doing them for people. This is something that, you know, is surprising. Like when you're going and you talk to somebody, and you just start talking to them, and you end up talking to them for a while. You go back to the shows, and they said, hey, and you go over to his booth, and you talk to him some more, and you sort of hit it off with him. I said, hey, you mind, you know, towards the end of the day, I said, oh, you know, he's like, what do you got? And I said, oh, my book. He's like, oh, let me do something in it. And J.G. Jones, and he just did this, started out as like a little drawing and broke out his watercolors and little Tommy sort of vampire woman. And it's just, you know, very just, I couldn't believe it. He was just like, let me just do something for you. Joe Sinnott, man, classic Joe Sinnott, FF. The Thing. I mean, it's just awesome. I mean, this guy's been around forever, and it was just amazing to get something from him like that. I mean, there's a Thing chopping on the cigar with the trench coat and the scarf. The 4 up there. I love that. Phil Noto, I mean, look at that. Beautiful. Just as the mouth, the line, just a few lines, the eyes. Just amazing. This was fun. Kevin Eastman was at a show I was at, a small show, and he wasn't charging anything. So, boom, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, Kevin Eastman, no charge. Look at that. That is just, I love that. And I'm blanking on this person's name. I feel horrible, but he did a great turtle for me too. He had worked on the series as well. I want to say something with a T. Tolbert? Eric Tolbert? Tolbert? I mean, I like the artist. I can't remember, I'm blanking on his name. Michael Gilbert. This is Mr. Monster. Pretty cool guy. These next few are some pretty amazing ones I got, I believe, in PhillyCon last year, or OhioCon. And one was a gift, and the surprise gift I looked in my book and found later on, and it's this one right here. Neil Adams, Green Arrow. I just could not believe it. I looked in after we were leaving, and it was a surprise gift, and I was just stunned. One of my favorite artists, just an amazing, amazing sketch. Arthur Sundum, the zombie guy. I went ahead and got one from him. This one was a little pricey, but one I've been wanting to get for a while, and it's the Flash as a zombie. And I think this is the last one, and it's one of my, oh no, I got two more. Chris Sprouse, one of my favorite artists, one of my favorite characters, Tom Strong. Again, just talking to the guy, and you talk to him, and you have a decent little rapport with him, and you strike up a conversation while you're doing it. Not just talk comics, but talk whatever they want to talk. And they end up keep drawing and adding detail, so it's kind of funny. But it's it's fun to do. It's fun to talk to these guys while they're drawing this stuff and watch them. I think this is the last one, which is awesome. It's from Humberto Ramos. His little Spidey bust, which is just so awesome. He's one of my favorites. And I think that is it. Let me turn the page here. That is it. And what I do is I bring this along. I've had this along forever. And all it is, well, all that was, as it fell, was just a card that I put, like I'd set it like right here, right? In between these two, so that if they use a Sharpie, it doesn't bleed through. But those are some of my, that's my sketchbook. Anybody can do this. You go to the store and you get one for $9, $10, and then you go ahead and ask the artist. You can start out paying the big bucks, or you can just get some free ones from people. And if you've got a kid, you can buy a little sketchbook. Like my son's got a little black sketchbook, like this, and a little 4x5 or 5x7, and they'll do sketches for kids for free. So he's got some amazing things that I don't even have from artists that I either couldn't afford or were booked up that day. So yeah. Next video, I'm not sure what I'm going to do comic book wise. I think I'm going to go ahead and take a look at some videos I've been seeing lately. It's funny that you've been seeing a lot of videos on Hellblazer and Sandman and all these characters that I've loved for a long time, Alias, that are Vertigo titles. So I think I'm going to go through and do a sort of a Hellblazer cover storyline retrospective. I think that's what's going to be next. Guys, thanks a lot. I really appreciate it. And enjoy the art.